But chances are you've seen this place before, right? This incredibly colorful hillside village in South Korea. It's all over social media. But I'm telling you, what you see in the photos, that's not even half the story.
I mean, you see it, right? The vibrant houses, those little winding alleys, the amazing views. It basically screams Instagram perfect. But what if I told you this whole place wasn't built for tourists at all? That its real story is all about faith, unbelievable hardship, and a community spirit that is just wow.
Yeah, behind every single one of those perfect photos of Gamcheon Culture Village, there's this secret history. It's deep, it's complicated, and honestly, it's pretty incredible. And it's a story most people just walk right by without ever knowing. So here's the game plan. We're gonna rewind all the way back to the 1950s when this was just a religious settlement called Saha-gu Village. Then we'll fast forward to 2009, the year everything changed thanks to an amazing art project. And finally, we'll see how it exploded into the global icon we all know today. To really get what Gamcheon is all about, we have to go all the way back to the beginning. Because this place, it was never meant to be a tourist attraction. It was built to be a home, a sanctuary, really. It was born out of this powerful sense of community and belief. So, who were these people? They were followers of a religion called Saha-gu. In the 1950s, they found themselves in Busan needing a new place to live and build their community. And the spot they chose? Well, it was this steep, seriously tough mountainside.
And when I say they built it from the ground up, I mean that literally. Everybody pitched in, men, women, even students. They were out there on the slopes of Cheonma Mountain, moving massive stones by hand just to build the retaining walls that this whole village sits on. It was an incredible feat of pure willpower.
But here's where things get really fascinating. All that hardship led to a stroke of genius. Because the hillside was so steep, they had to get creative. So they built their houses in this unique terraced stair-step style. Basically, one house's roof is the front yard for the house right above it. And that super practical decision, that's what gives the village its famous Lego block look today. Amazing, right? So, for decades, this community, known back then as Saha-gu Village, was just there. A quiet, relatively unknown settlement. But then, something shifted. Art showed up. And with it came a complete rebirth. And that brings us to 2009. This is the big turning point. The Village Art Project kicks off, and its whole mission was about preservation and renewal. So the goal wasn't to tear down the old village. No way. It was about honoring its history while breathing new life into it. And this just shows you the scale of that change. Before, it was Saha-gu Village, a private religious settlement. After, it's Gamcheon Culture Village, a world-famous art destination. The name, the whole vibe, its entire identity, totally reinvented. So, how'd they pull it off? Well, it was this really cool team-up between the people who lived there and actual artists. And I'm not talking about volunteers with a bucket of paint. These were professional, working artists creating serious art installations. And that level of quality, that's a huge reason this whole thing got so much attention. Okay, so now we've got this awesome art-filled village. But how do you go from a cool local project to a place that people fly halfway around the world to see? Well, the story involves a bit of luck and a couple of really happy accidents. So the first big break didn't come from some fancy marketing team or a big ad campaign. Nope, it came from a local postman, just a regular guy doing his route, who happened to take a photograph of the village's incredible landscape. He submitted that photo to a travel photo contest, and it won! Suddenly his picture is everywhere, and people all over Korea are just floored. They're like, wait, a place like this exists in our own country? It was so unique, it just completely captured everyone's imagination. But, you know, being famous in Korea is one thing. Becoming a global Instagram icon, that's a whole other level. And the thing that really pushed it over the edge was a little prince and his desert fox. This one art installation by 9ju became the photo op, the one everyone had to get.
So, next time you see a picture of Gamcheon, remember, you're not just looking at pretty, colorful houses. You're seeing layers of history. You're seeing a sanctuary built by hand by a faithful community. And you're seeing proof of how art can completely transform a place without erasing its soul. It's truly a story of resilience, from start to finish.
And that kind of makes you think, doesn't it? Gamcheon proves that even the most famous places have these incredible hidden stories. So, what about the places you see every day? What secret histories are just hiding in plain sight, waiting for someone to finally notice?